This is going to be the revised tutorial for my crocodile stitch shawl. I wanted to make a better video now that I have HD. If you're wondering what kind of yarn I'm using here, it's the kind I get out here in Israel. It's Baltic Design Elise, and in this skein it has 280 meters or 307 yards, and it's 100 grams or 3.53 ounces. And I used about 4.5 of these to get my desired size. The great thing about this pattern is it's just repeated throughout. So if you want to use a smaller or a thicker yarn, it's completely fine. You just keep going until it's as wide as you like. So that's the great thing about this pattern. It's very diverse, very easy to switch it up. So to get started, and here I'm going to use the thicker yarn. Hopefully it'll show up better on camera. You want to start off by chaining 6. And once you have your chain of 6, you want to double crochet in the second chain from the hook. Don't want to get too close, but I think I should get closer. So you want to count over 1, 2, and in the second chain, do a double crochet. Then you want to skip 1 chain and then double crochet twice in this next chain. So you're going to go 1 and 2. Then you're going to skip the next chain, and in the very last chain you want to do a double crochet. And this is what you have. This beginning chain here you can ignore. So basically you have the first double crochet, then you skip 2 double crochets, skip 1 double crochet, and that's the start of the first row. Okay, for row 2 you want to chain 1 just to make it a little easier for yourself, and then turn. Now we're going to be working in just those 2 double crochets. We're going to be working double crochets on the post itself. So you're going to start by doing 5 double crochets worked on this post, just like it's a normal stitch. You're just gonna, have you ever done a front post or back post double crochet, so you work on the post itself? This is essentially that you're doing front post, working on all this post here, and then it's going to bring you down here, and then you'll work up the next post. So I'm going to grab up that first post of this 2 double crochets here, and I'm going to do a double crochet. And then again, like I said, you're going to be working down the post, so the next one will be under that first double crochet worked on that same post. And if you turn it like this, whether you're working on this post here, turn it like this, it makes it so much easier if you just turn it and fold it to work that chain. Work that scale. Then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty much just have a shell here. And then you can hold on to your shell here and unfold this back and find that other post here. And now you're going to be putting that flap down and working up this direction. So I'm going to get my yarn again, yarn over. Then I'm going to grab up the post of this the second of these 2 double crochets, and work a double crochet. Now we're going to be working up, so you want to make sure that this next double crochet is in front of the double crochet that you just did. You're going to be working 5 double crochets on this post, right, just like you did the last one. And I'm turning it to the side so that I can work on it. Then as you can see, there's your first crocodile stitch. And again, here's on this one. Every time you do a set of 2, you'll be working 5 double crochets down here, which will bring you to the bottom, and then you do 5 double crochets going up. So remember, when you're going down, remember you want to always make sure the next double crochet is under the next double crochet as you work your way down the post. Then when you go back up, you want to make sure that the double crochet is now always going to be in front as you get all the way up. And then you'll have your crocodile stitch. And once you do, you want to find that last double crochet of the row, and you're going to slip stitch in the top of the double crochet, just to secure that crocodile stitch. Now for row 3, we're going to be chaining 3. 1, 2, 3, and this double crochet will count as your first, this chain 3 here will count as your first double crochet. Then you want to turn, and now working in this space, I know it's hard to see on this one. Each crocodile stitch consists of 5 double crochets here, 5 double crochets here. So you want to get that space that's in between the first double crochet and the second double crochet. And this is the stitch you're going to be working in when you are increasing every row. So of course you can't do that when you chain 3, but then you need to find that space, that first space between your 2 double crochets, and you want to work your second double crochet in that stitch. Then you chain 1, and then in the middle space of the crocodile stitch, you'll be putting 1 double crochet right into the center. And then you want to double crochet without chaining. Just double crochet again in that last space, which is again between the space in between the 2 double crochets here. And then you'll finish up that row. So for row 4, you want to work a crocodile stitch in these 2 spaces. So I'm going to start by chaining 1, just to make it easy for me to be able to do this first double crochet. And you don't want to turn. You want to stay just like this, because you're going to start with this very first double crochet here, and you're going to work down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's what it looks like. You got your 5 on one side of your 2 double crochets on the end. Then you want to turn, having the side face you. Grab up this the second post here. So this is the first half of your crocodile stitch you just did, and now find this next double crochet, and then you'll want to start going up. So I'm going to yarn over, fold my piece of my crocodile stitch that I did to pop up this post here that's beside it. Then I'm going to come in from behind, from under it, and start working my crocodile stitch. Four and 5. And then again in the center double crochet, you want to slip stitch to anchor it. And you've got your second shell or scale. Now again, go into your next post. You have a 2-post system here. You have the chain 3, and then you have your double crochet. So again, you're going to grab up that first post. I hope you can't hear this sound that's happening outside, but it's very distracting to me. But considering I have a mic that's up against me, close to my mouth, I'm hoping you can't hear it. Okay, so I have 5 on this side, and then you want to grab up this next chain here, which is the second post of the crocodile stitch, and work. I'm kind of turning the row again. See how this is the front? Now I'm kind of like turning it just so I can grab this next post, and I'm going to come under it as well. Hope you can see that. This is my second post right here. I'll come from here and start my crocodile stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now basically we're facing the back of it now, but if you flip it over, you can see you finished your second scale. So having the back still facing you, going to chain 3. This is how you'll always begin the row, by chaining 3, then going right back into this space in between these first 2 double crochets, which is much easier to see this row, by the way. And you'll do your double crochet. Then you want to chain 1, and now in the space here, the first crocodile stitch, you want to put 1 double crochet and chain 1. Now you have a double crochet here. See, this is a shell. This is a scale. This is a scale. If you pull them apart, you can see this is the double crochet that you did last row. In between, like we just did here, crocodile stitch, we put the double crochet. Well, that's what this is, but for last row. You're going to want to put 2 in top of those. So next row, where you've done a single one here through the crocodile stitch, you'll be putting 2 double crochets here too. So I'm going to find the top of that, and I know it can be difficult to find. You have these 2 like stitches. It looks like it's coming out. You want to go under that. And you'll just learn with time how to find that stitch easier. You want to put 2. So 1 and 2. And then chain 1. Move on over to the next middle of the shell and put 1 double crochet. Then chain 1. Chain 1 or don't crochet 1. It's this very last one on the end. It doesn't really matter. Now find that stitch in between and put 2 double crochets in this one. And now you have your prep row done, what I call the prep row. You have 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And in every 2 is where you'll put your crocodile stitch. And it's going to be like this row after row after row. And you'll always start your row without turning. You'll just chain 1 and start your first crocodile stitch on this first set of 2 double crochets. You'll start working your double crochet on this first double crochet of the row. Again, sorry for the noise if you can hear that. 4 and 5. Now once you have your 5 here, then you can turn and find its partner, the other double crochet here, and then you can fold it, pop it up, and do your 5 double crochets going back up this direction. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then again, in the the double crochet here, you want to slip stitch in the top of it to anchor down your next shell. And then you can go right into the next set of 2. Of course, yarn over first. And begin your next scale. 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, I'm fighting with my yarn here. Okay, then you just continue on. You're going to be repeating this pattern over and over and over again until you get it the width that you want. And just keep in mind, every row that you do, the crocodile scale itself takes up a lot of yarn. So every row that you add, you're going to be adding 2 scales per row. So it's going to slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger. But because you're going down and up, it takes a lot of yarn just for a small space. Though it will have some holes in it, so it shouldn't be like super, super hot, but it will take a lot of yarn. So that is it. That is how you do the crocodile stitch shawl, and it's very easy to turn this into a poncho. All you have to do is just make 2 the exact same size, and then you can just sew on up to a certain point here, and then cut your yarn, leaving some part for your head, and then sew on this side. Sew 2 pieces together. You just have the fronts facing each other. So this bottom one would be like that, and then you would just set the other front on top of the other one, and then sew that way. And if you check my site, my pattern, I have some to show you some idea on how to do that. And also, if you want to add fringe, it's very, very easy to do that. All you have to do is find something that you want to wrap around, like a book or, you know, notebook or something like that. Like this, for instance, I could use this blue notebook, though I prefer not to because it has this thing on it. But I usually get a cut cardboard or something like that, and I'll just wrap it around like this, just so that I have them all uniform. So I'll cut like this. I'll count about, you know, 5, 10, something like that, depending on how thick I want my fringe to be. Then cut your yarn, and then cut along the same side where you just cut your yarn. Then you have this long piece that's all now stacked together, same length. Fold it in half, where you have all of it like this. You want to use this folded in half part as the loop. So I usually go into this space at the bottom of the shell. You have like 5 going down this way, 5 going down this way, and it leaves space on the end, and all of them have it. And I just put my hook up into that space. Then I have my loop here, and I will pull it through that loop space that I have, which still creates a loop here on the end. So you don't want to pull it all the way through. Leave yourself a little loop. And then all these string that's left over, you want to pull this all the way through the loop. Just pull it out like that. And then you can pull it all to tighten it. And with my variegated yarn, I did the whole shawl. And then when I was making my round loops, every time it would change to a color, like say this color, then I would find somewhere in my shawl where I had this color on the end, and then I would put it there. And the same thing with each color. I tried to keep it, you know, matching each color. So that is it. That is how you make the crocodile stitch shawl or poncho. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button. Also, you can find me on Facebook or Twitter or any of that stuff. You'll find all the links where you can find me in the description below. You'll also find the link for the left-handed version and for the pattern. Thank you so much for watching.